A while ago we got the reveal of the Pokémon Legends Z-A box art and it was beautiful. I did a full analysis that you should absolutely check out if you haven't already, but I noticed something that, considering who was on the cover, might be very alarming. Emma seems to be there, half dressed as Essentia, but by her side we cannot find her little Esper, Mimi. So hey, I'm not so a strainer, and could Mimi be dead? Let's get into it. The post-game of Pokémon X and Y brought us the interesting tale of Emma, a girl from the streets of Lumiose that's taken in by Looker, though eventually feeling like she should contribute financially as well, finds herself in the hands of Zerozik and one of his experiments, the expansion suit. That experiment basically shut down Emma for a while, turning her into Essentia, a remote-controlled, suit-wearing criminal that could hide her identity and had superhuman powers. This eventually gets sorted out, and it's the reason why Emma still has the expansion suit, though is no longer remotely controlled. The reason why Looker was able to discover her identity though was because Mimi could still recognize Emma inside of the suit and would get closer to the criminal when she saw her. During Emma's time as Essentia, Mimi would stay back at home because technically Emma was at work, so she could still simply be at home. But that would still not make the choice to not include her in the box art not strange. Unlike you liking, subscribing and joining the channel to support me, that is not strange at all, so please do it. So while I do admit that the less sad reality can 100% be the actual reality, I am not convinced at all. But before I continue though, what did you think about the post-game for Pokémon X and Pokémon Y? Let me know down below. Looker, when he worked in Lumiose City, had a photograph of a Pokémon on his desk. That Pokémon was Looker's Croagunk, who, despite not being 100% confirmed, is heavily implied to have been killed during a case in the past. The photograph is there as a memory. Now, when we first got a glimpse of what is now Emma's bureau, while not a lot can be seen without a big zoom in, we can clearly spot a photograph on her desk as well. A photograph that, while blurry, really reminds me of Mimi the Esper. Again, this could simply be a photograph that is there for decoration. Someone doesn't need to have passed for a photograph of them to exist. That would be very weird. Still, Pokémon is known for events that are cyclical or simply repeated details from game to game or from story to story. And while sometimes they are bigger things, they can also definitely be smaller things as well. We have seen this multiple times during our adventures. Every 1000 years, for example, there are meteor showers in Hoenn. And okay, this kind of thing also happens in the real world, some events truly are cyclical. But then having Maxie and Archie opposing each other with their ancestors having done the same thing on completely different subjects, now that's weird. AZ building the ultimate weapon and firing it, only for Lysander to fire it as well down the line. Volo not accepting the world is in, and then Cyrus trying to reshape it. Both having Giratina as either part of or opposition to the plan. The darkest day being Galar's great disaster, and then Rose trying to bring it forth once again. The concept of truth and ideals in Unova, born of the twin heroes of the past, being reborn in N and us, the main characters. A kid stopping Team Rocket, that has happened quite a lot of times as well. There are themes and events that just repeat with simple small changes to fit the concept. They tend to tell the same story in a slightly different way, basically, and I think that will happen again in Pokémon Legends Z-A. Emma took the role of Looker, protecting Lumiose, and Mimi might have been caught in the crossfire just like Croagunk. Looker carried on with his life, although clearly affected because even his way of speaking changed from Gen 5 to Gen 6. But Emma lives in a very different world from the world Looker lived in. Kalos' history has been talked about a lot in the last year because of Pokémon Legends Z-A, so we all know about the ultimate weapon and what it can do. It was built by AZ with one goal in mind, to revive his Eternal Flower Floette and then used in anger to wipe out a lot of Pokémon and a lot of people. It is a weapon that requires the life force of Pokémon, hence why it uses Yveltal or Xerneas in X and Y in order to function. And so, in the advanced, and even back in the not-so-advanced world of Pokémon, it has the power to both bring death and life to something. What I mean is that while Looker lived in a world where this story wasn't known, Emma doesn't. And while AZ's story seems to have been a little forgotten, well, Emma likely had access to the information regarding this story when she was working or when she was being experimented on by Zerozik at Lysander Labs, or likely still has access to all of that right now. And so, I'm not saying that Emma is trying to build a weapon, I'm saying that she might have a wish. The wish thing has been bugging me since they revealed it, and I even made a video about it a while ago. But I think that, because we are the main characters, we'll end up being the ones that get to choose what wish we want fulfilled. As we can't really choose whatever we want, it's likely that whatever options we have are tied to the plot of Z-A. For example, Zack is battling in the Z-A Royale to abolish all traffic except taxis, and Yvonne is battling in the Z-A Royale to get a marathon in Lumiose City. If we take the box art as gospel here, Emma is also in a battle zone at night, thus likely part of the Z-A Royale. Now it could all be part of a case, there's something shady about the competition for sure, but it could be because just like Zack and Yvonne, she has a wish of her own. One she isn't even sure someone can fulfill. The wish to revive her Esper. The wish to revive Mimi. I believe that in the end, we are gonna be the ones reaching the top and thus the ones capable of making that wish come true or not, because AZ and his Eternal Flower Floette might try to stop us, considering that they know exactly the price you have to pay in order to do something with that device. Or maybe not exactly that device, because the ultimate weapon was destroyed in X and Y, but one that someone might be trying to build in hiding. I was letting Quasartico off the hook for now because, I didn't want to say that the big corporation is evil, but I don't know, their shadowy look in the box art, they really might be evil. And Mimi might indeed be dead, and Emma might simply have a wish to bring her back to life. But I hope that doesn't happen, it would be quite sad to see that happening. But anyway, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my Twitch subscribers and newbies here, and the Dr. Joe, and my YouTube members Dash Plays and Yatsy for going that extra mile. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much.